Crystal, our exclusive account manager at Company Partners. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be discussing a very hot topic as of the last few months, which is beneficial ownership. So, thank you, Crystal.
Why, thank you, Kelly, for having me. It is certainly a hot topic indeed.
Yes, it is. So, let's get right into it. Our first question, Crystal, we just want to make sure we're all on the same page with understanding beneficial ownership. So, please tell us what exactly is beneficial ownership?
Well, beneficial ownership is more than just owning shares. It's about finding out who really runs a company, even if you don't own shares directly. And it helps make sure that business operations are clear and transparent. It also helps organizations like CIPC figure out who owns what in the business.
Awesome. So tell me, why is it so important to file beneficial ownership now more than ever?
While filing beneficial ownership information at CIPC has become mandatory for business completing their annual returns as of December the 11th, 2023. And this was recently announced with Notice 67 of 2023 by CIPC, which communicated the latest requirements.
Great stuff. So that means CIPC sent out the official notice announcing this change. But I think, some business owners struggle to really understand all these notices that come out with sometimes some heavy wording. So if you don't mind making it a bit more practical for us, let's say I was a business owner in South Africa, how would this new change actually affect me as a business?
Well, certainly. So alongside your annual return submission, beneficial ownership is officially a requirement. So what this means is if you are not registered for beneficial ownership, you're not able to submit your annual returns at CIPC, which ultimately results in deregistration of your business. And this requirement will be phased in across all annual return platforms, mandatory as of April the 1st, 2024.
Okay, so that's quite important. So basically, you're saying if I don't do my beneficial ownership, I won't be able to process or submit my annual returns on CIPC, and that then could result in my business being deregistered.
Correct.
Okay, so tell me, what do I need to do to ensure that my business is protected?
Well, there are three simple steps from our side. Register your beneficial ownership information. Once your beneficial ownership is complete, you're able to file your annual returns at CIPC. And as soon as your annual returns are submitted, your business will be protected against deregistration.
Okay, great. So let's say I've done my beneficial ownership, the registration is complete. Thereafter, how often do I need to be updating my beneficial ownership details?
I always say it's essential to keep beneficial ownership records current. Companies should update their details whenever there's a significant change in ownership or control, and regular annual checks are also recommended to ensure accuracy.
Okay, that makes sense. So every time I update something on my business, there's a change, the beneficial ownership information needs to match the changes that's going on with my business.
Correct.
Okay, great. So tell me, who can actually file beneficial ownership information at CIPC?
Good question. Any individual who has been designated or mandated in writing by a company to file the beneficial ownership in and on their behalf, for example, secretaries, accountants, directors, to mention a few. However, what is important to note is that although the appointed individuals files the beneficial ownership, it still remains the responsibility of the director of the business.
Okay, I see. So basically, if I appoint someone to do the beneficial ownership on my behalf, that's fine. But because I'm the director or owner, ultimately the responsibility still lies with me.
Correct.
Okay, great. And tell me, who exactly are the beneficial owners then?
Well, basically, any individuals who ultimately owns or controls a company, either directly or indirectly. So by holding a beneficial interest of 5% or more in the company or share class.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think this is a big question on everyone's mind. Let's say I don't submit my beneficial ownership. What happens then?
Certainly a dreadful question, but a very popular one. So failure to file beneficial ownership information with the CIPC violates the Companies Act 71 of 2008 and may result in a court-ordered administrative fine of 10% of the company's turnover or 1 million rand, whichever is greater.
Wow, that is really some hefty fees. I'm sure a lot of business owners can't afford to take such a knock, just showing how important this process is as well. So, yeah, I mean, definitely we want to do the registration and complete the beneficial ownership. So tell me, what are the requirements to do so?
So companies need to provide comprehensive details about individuals with significant control or ownership, and this usually includes their full name, date of birth, nationality, contact details, and the nature of their control or ownership. But on our end, other than the company's registration documents and identification of both the director and the shareholder, we require a diagram reflecting the entity's relationships that leads to the ultimate owner, as well as a register indicating all information with regards to beneficial ownership of the company. And as an added value for ease of application, we offer a template or a model to even assist.
Okay, awesome. That sounds great. Thanks for clarifying. So, Crystal, just to end it off, tell me, are all businesses required to register their beneficial ownership details?
Another popular question. While the emphasis is on transparency, specific exemptions might apply based on the nature and the size of the business itself. However, most companies, especially those involved in significant financial transactions or international operations, should ensure compliance. Entities to mention here would be profit companies, non-profit, external, closed corporations, trusts, and even non-exempt state-owned companies.
Okay, great, perfect. Thank you so much for clarifying all this information. Yeah, I think we've covered the basis of some of the most common frequently asked questions that our clients have and businesses out there regarding beneficial ownership. It's still new, it is a hot topic, but I think the most important thing you mentioned through chatting to you is already since the 1st of April, you said that on all CIPC online platforms, they've already made that adjustment to ensure that you cannot submit your annual returns without having your beneficial ownership completed. So yeah, that's really important information and it just shows us how important this really is. So thank you so much for all the information, and I really think our business owners out there will find this super helpful. So thank you.
No, I agree, Kali. Thank you so much. Based on the influx received over the last however many months, it is certainly a demand, hence the outreach to our volume of clients. And failure to file annual returns showcases a non-compliant status visible to all. So do yourself a favor in your personal capacity and log on to CIPC. It clearly states in red, filing of beneficial ownership declarations is compulsory for all companies and closed corporations. And failure to adhere to the requirements may result in administrative sanctions and enforcement. I would suggest acting today. So thank you for having me. This was certainly a good refresher.
No, that's awesome, Crystal. We really appreciate all the info. And yeah, we'll chat soon. I'm sure we'll get a lot more questions after this.
Super. Take care.